Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back, and welcome to our review and showing of the Outlaw Lock, Stock, and Barrel Distortion pedal. This thing's actually really cool. I've been messing with it all day. This one I actually got for a Christmas present this year, which was awesome. And my son also bought the power supply for it too, which saved me cutting into another power pack. So that was really cool. It's really awesome. This is a pedal I've been looking at for a little while too in the Outlaw series, and they've got about, I think, 8 pedals altogether, so there's a couple more that I'm going to be getting. Now I've got the heavy metal pedal, which is the EX metally stick, and it's a pretty metally pedal, and I have the Deadman hand, which is a much lighter overdrive, and this one here is kind of a little bit heavier, but it's also got some really nice bass response too. Which is you're going to find is really nice. The guitar I'm going to be using is my Cort X with dual humbuckers, and I'm going to go through the bridge, the center pickups, and of course the neck pickup for the test, and we'll go through the different, gain levels, etc. Now, the one thing I am going to leave alone is going to be my tone control, and it's almost pretty much at 3 o'clock. And my level output or volume output is at around roughly 9 o'clock. So here's my clean sound. Okay, so let's get started and see what you guys think of this thing. And the 2 humbuckers together. Pickup. Now let's bring this up to the middle, to 12 o'clock. Now the 2 pickups together. Pickup. And we'll go right there, back to the bridge. Together. And the neck. And full out. the neck, that was the middle pickup. Now to the neck. Okay, now that was on barrel. So we're going to go stock, which is the center position, and then we'll go to lock. Now with this all the way off, we'll just go there with it all the way off. I'll just play this on the bridge. Okay, up to stock now. Start at 0. Pickup, sorry. That's the two together. Now the neck. Now back to the bridge, and we'll bring her up. Neck pickup. O'clock. Both pickups. Pickup. And 3/4 up. Middle. And neck pickup. And full tilt. And the two middle pickups. Neck. And up to what they call the lock position. Started at 0, start on the bridge. Both middle pickups. Sorry about that, screwed up. And the neck. let's turn that up. Around 9-ish. Both pickups together. Neck pickup. Okay, 12 o'clock. Starting back at the bridge. Both together. Neck pickup. Okay, 3/4 of the way up. 3 o'clock. Both pickups together. Neck pickup. Okay, so I'm going to turn the gain all the way up. Together. Pickup. Okay guys, so that's our lock, stock, and barrel full demo. So, I really like it. It's definitely much more dirtier, but it's a good clean dirty, you know, for being a really dirty pedal when you compare it to the Dead Man's Hand, which is more of a milder distortion type of overdrive pedal. Or the metal he stuck, of course, is super distortion for those real metal heads out there. And you know, but I'm grouping these in weakest distortion to strongest, and the mix seems to be going pretty good so far. I've got some settings now on my Dead Man Hand that I really like them, so I'm going to try and keep them there as best as I can. But the lock, stock, and barrel, that's going to be a lot of experimenting back and forth depending on what I'm going to do with it. Now, I don't play like songs for you guys when I do these reviews. It takes long enough for a review for me to do a good thorough review as it is. So to start playing you guys, you know, songs like, you know, in every position, you know, type of thing like I do, just way too time consuming and unnecessary. Now, the one thing that is definitely going to be changing about my pedal reviews in the new year is I'm going to be picking up either a Telecaster or a Stratocaster guitar. Preferably, I think I'm going to go with the Strat though, because it's 3 separate coils for its pickups, and my Chord X that I'm using right now to do these demos with, it's a humbucker guitar, and I think the reviews will go a lot more in depth and more fair if I'm able to use 2 different guitars that are like totally different. Like, you know, humbucker is a humbucker guitar, you know, single coil guitar is a single coil guitar, right? So, and everybody, a lot of people have Strats out there, so that's your triple coil guitars, and the sound is totally different. Even when you combine any 2 of the single coils together with the switch position on the Strat, it's not sounding like a real humbucker by any means. It's close, but it just doesn't cut it. You know what I mean? And there are a lot of people equally enough that have humbucker guitars. So that's one thing that'll change. And once that happens too, I will probably just pick, you know, like what I think is going to be the best maybe pickup settings on the humbucker guitar. And then, of course, the Strat, I'm going to have to go through a few of those positions. I haven't totally figured this part out yet, but I'm working on it. But I thought I'd give you guys a little heads up of what I'm up to, because there's going to be a lot more pedals that I'm going to be getting, they do get quite addictive. But I also need a ton more, and I need more than just, you know, distortion, overdrive pedals, and a delay pedal, and so on. There's a lot of really kick pedals out there that I really need and want at the same time. Some I think are more wants than needs, but hey, you can't have too many is my theory. But anyways, to the Outlaw pedal. Lock, stock, and barrel, very nice pedal. It's really clean. I don't know what it's really sounding like for you guys on your computers, but I know how it's sounding for me in here. And although it is a bit loud in here, and my amp is not very far from my pedals, it's like the distance where I'm actually sitting from my amp right now, I'm only about maybe 4 feet from my amplifier. My amplifier is turned down actually surprisingly really low, and I'm using the Roland XL15 Cube, so it's only a 15 watt amp, but whoa, is it ever loud for 15 watts. And I'm barely on the volume level on it, so you know it can get extremely loud. Anyways, the color of the pedal never bothers me. You know, I don't care what color pedals are. Heck, I'll even have pink pedals, I don't care. But the features are really nice. You know, you've got your tone, you've got your level or volume output. It's going to add a lot of extra preamp, obviously, as you crank up that output, which will also make things a little dirtier too, you know. Tone it down a bit and things will get a lot cleaner, you know. You know, it's, you know, these controls, they got some good friction to them, you know, as same as the other Outlaws, you know, and same with your gain control. It's got some good friction to it. And you have a multitude of differences that you can do with these, like, you know, just a little bit of extra, a little bit of extra, a little bit of extra makes all the difference in the kind of tone you can generate. And then when you start mixing them together, well, then it gets even more cool and funky, right? The tone differences between the lock, stock, and barrel are definitely hugely noticeable. And in all the modes, they stay actually pretty clean, and it's not too much tone. I found with my medley stick, my 2 top positions for it are actually low boost and boost off. I don't actually use the high boost on it because it's way too much trouble for the stuff that I play. Okay, now if you're a metal head, you'll probably be using that high boost an awful lot if you like the really screaming, you know, ear-piercing type of sounds. You know, otherwise dial her back, you know, type of thing, and away you go, you know. And it's an awesome pedal too, this medley stick. They're all really good pedals, you know. Stomper pedals are pretty decent, you know, and I like the size of these things too. You know, the size is just amazing. There's so much packed into these little tiny metal boxes. And I did get a power supply with it, and I got the actual Outlaw supply. You know, this was a Christmas present, so it was a completed present, pedal and power supply, which is awesome. And I mean, between the price of the pedal and the power pack was only, I think it was about 60 or 70 bucks, somewhere around there, you know, plus tax, right? And that's still a really good price. The only bark I really have on it, of course, is going to be the fact that it doesn't come with a power supply, and you can't run a 9-volt battery into it because there's just no room to jam one in there, you know. But otherwise, I mean, to really say anything bad about it, probably, well, I really can't. I mean, the pedals are so unique. I mean, it doesn't have very much mid-range until you really get up there in the gain level, and then it, you know, the mids are a little more present, your highs start to pop out more, you know. But I like the real good lows in it, because even the Deadman hand, it doesn't have a lot of low end to it, you know, but it also doesn't have a lot of high end, you know. It's kind of almost like a flat-lined overdrive in comparison, you know. So just to give you a quick idea of that, because I know I do have a review on this pedal, but, you know, just to give you a quick hearing of that one. Okay, clean channel. Now this is a typical setting where I have my Deadman's hand. I've got the gain at around 11. That's pretty good. Now if you crank this all the way to the top, it's pretty decent. You know, bring it up to, they call this aces. Now this adds a lot of extra punch through your amp too. Like having close to full blast clean sound. Very clean, very nice bluesy pedal, you know, good for the blues. Oh, sorry about that. The lock, stock, and barrel, one of my favorite settings right now on this one would be right about there. It's got some nice highs, but it's not overdriven highs. And if you need to tone it down, just, you know, tone down your tone control on your guitar. Now I just turned my tone off. So you can really fatten it up, you know? It's like... That's on the bridge pickup. Now just turn the tone back on. So overall, I'm quite happy with this pedal, and I think it does a wonderful job, and it really throws out that, you know, throbbing bass too, which is really good. You know, which is something I wanted. And you know, I mean, for price point, comparing it to other more expensive pedals, you know, this thing is like very well priced. You know, to get these kind of tonal ranges, you'd probably pay $150, maybe $170, you know, for something else that's, you know, just, it's not the lock, stock, and barrel, you know what I mean? It's got highs, it's got low deliverances, you know, and I didn't even turn down the tone. My tone is most of the way up, actually. let's just turn the tone off for a second here. So we'll leave the tone up on the guitar. Okay, so now let's turn the tone back up to where I have it. You know, so even having it set there is fine too, and you can leave your tone alone. Now if you want to really dial down the tones, let's do this, and let's push some more power through the amp. So my tone is off, I'm on the bridge pickup, and my tone is off on the pedal as well. Now, let's kick on the distortion pedal from my medley stick. So you can do a lot with this thing, and a lot of different cool tones. You can just get it to push out. So overall, a good. I'd really place this to be at least a good 4 out of 5 for sure. It's offering me all the amounts that I want for a lot of deeper bass, and really nice powerful distortion, like really dirty stuff, but not over trebly either, and it's not hard to dial it down by just a little smidge, and it makes all the difference, and so I really like the pedal. I think it's really good. I think it's worth a good 4 out of 5. And it's always losing its normal brownie points. It's not perfect. I mean, hey, nothing ever is. And they don't come with power packs, but I got the power pack with it because my son actually was the one who got this pedal for me, bought me the power pack. And the Outlaw power pack's only like $10, which isn't bad. That's actually pretty cheap. And so I mean, the pedal with a power pack, you're under $70. I mean, and it does so much, and as you guys have heard throughout this entire video, I like to go through more and more of the settings as much as I can, just to give you guys a more honest shot at what it's like. But I mean, it's still going to have some differences, and that's something that you got to keep in mind when you're putting pedals on that you even check out reviews on. Like a humbucker guitar is not a humbucker guitar, you know what I mean? There's different grade levels of humbuckers and so on, and maybe you got 2-tone controls and 2 volume controls in your humbuckers, and you're going to create a bit of different tone, but this does give you a really good idea of what you can expect. That's the big thing. It's gonna say, okay, this may just be something I really could deal with, I mean, this is good, and and I want to start doing pedal reviews as well with a Stratocaster or a Tele. I'm pretty sure I'm sold on the Strat though, just because I think it is the better choice, but we'll see what happens next month, which one I end up buying. But then I'll be able to compare two guitars same time with every new pedal I get, and what I'll probably do at that point too is I'll just do up separate reviews just to start with for the pedals I have now, and just redo those reviews using the Strat, but I'm not gonna alter. I don't think I'm going to be altering any kind of star rating. They're going to say the same that way, but you're going to get a better sense and feel for the sound quality of what these things are going to produce through a Stratocaster or a Telecaster, whichever one I happen to get. And the only other thing that's going to be different, of course, is going to be the amplifier. I'm using a Roland XL Cube 15 amp. It's got an 8-inch speaker in it, 15 watts of power, and you know, it sounds like about 900 watts of power because it can get really obscenely loud for that 15 watts. But you know, your amp is going to be a little bit different too, you know. And that's one thing I noticed too, just as an offside thing, because I know a lot of you guys go out looking for guitars and stuff. Try and test a guitar out on at least the same brand and similar setup amplifier. Then you're going to really know what it sounds like on your amp. It's either that or bring your amp in with you. You know, I actually, when I was looking at the Strat last week, they got one on the wall there that's a lefty. I plugged it into a tube amp and found it had a lot of static, almost like a background sound, you know what I mean? And on a couple of switch positions. And then, of course, I tried it on a solid state amp, same thing. So, but this was a line 6, you know? And the guy asked me, he says, what amp do you have? I have a Roland Cube XL 15. Oh, well, we've got an XL, I think it was a 30 or something like that. It wasn't much different, right? And he says, how about we try it on that? I said, sure. So we did. And you know what? All the difference in the world. All that sound that was there before, gonzoed. So it made me a lot more think about, maybe I should get the Strat after all. I just don't plug it into a line 6 or into a Fender tube amp and I'm good to rock and roll, you know, because I want to keep the sound clean. Because even at a lower volume, it was like, oh, that was horrid, you know. And but it cleaned right up going on to the Roland. So there is a lot to be said about, you know, quality amplifiers, you know, and we're using quality cables, you know, at the music store. They're not cheap cables by any means. So, you know, it wasn't the cable that was the fault or a problem with the pedal at all. It turned out it was just, and it wasn't the guitar, it was the amplifier, you know. And so that was something that I thought, okay. Now, apparently single coil guitars, and I don't have a lot of experience with single coil guitars, do have to have that buzzing sound, and it is quite normal apparently, at least on the lower end machines, and so, and lower end pickups too. But anyway, whichever. I like the pedal. Do you guys like the pedal? I don't know if you guys like the pedal. Let me know. Leave your comments. Feel free to ask any questions. But I think we pretty much covered it all. You know, and once again, thanks for watching and for being patient through this review. My reviews aren't short. They are very thorough. And, you know, so we'll catch you on the next one.